Welcome back. I've missed you. We took a week off last week because time to rest and recharge is just as important as time to work hard. And so we are back, and this month we are doing our focus on the complete process of locating a home, finding a home, getting your house ready for sale, the next step, the next step, the next step. And so right now we are on week 2, and I am so excited to be here at one of my actual listings. I'll show you a little bit of the front yard so you can see. And so today we're going to talk about what do you do first? So a lot of people have it backwards. A lot of people will go and find the house first and then talk to a lender. But really what you should do first is get pre-approved. And so here's our legacy sign. By the way, welcome to our channel if you haven't been here before. My name is Jennifer Mount, and I am the co-owner and managing broker of Legacy Realty Advisors. We are a boutique brokerage here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And today I'm going to be showing you this beautiful home, and this is in Union School District, which is one of our great school districts here in the Tulsa area. So it is not a Tulsa public school, but it is very much still here right in the heart of Tulsa. So let's talk about the difference between getting pre-approved and pre-qualified. And as I'm talking to you today, I'm going to show you this beautiful home. And it is $237,000, 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage, completely updated. Look at this beautiful mirror. So let's talk about the difference between getting pre-approved and getting pre-qualified. So when you get pre-approved, that means that someone has talked to you and maybe said, how much money do you make? Do you have a job? You know, these types of things. And yes, based on the information you gave them, it does look like you will be able to buy a house. But pre-qualified is whenever they have actually qualified you by looking at your income statements, your credit report, and all those things. So as a buyer, first you want to get pre-qualified so you can make sure that the home that you find you can actually afford. So like this home here is beautiful. I mean, everything about this house has been updated. The roof, the floor vents, in the heat and air in the floor, all the paint, all the carpet, and we'll walk through it together. I'm going to show you the nice master bedroom as I talk about the second step. So once you've gotten pre-approved, then you get to hopefully choose a realtor. You can call me, and we will sit down and make a strategic plan based on your needs. So this here, I'm in the master bedroom, and you can see it has a master bath. A full master bath, once again, fully updated, and it's got a nice huge walk-in closet, which this is a great feature. And like I said, this house is only $237,000, and the average sales price in Tulsa right now is $256,000. So not only are you getting a completely updated home, it's in a great price range. It is going to be open today too. So today's Sunday, and this isn't going to air till Wednesday. So if you want to see it next weekend, let me know. If it doesn't sell today, I'll be happy to show it to you. So you might make a list of things that are important to you, things that you definitely want in a home. Like maybe you want to have a fireplace. Maybe you want to have a formal dining room, or maybe you just need a breakfast nook. These are all decisions that you need to make when you're making your wants list versus your needs list. So the Beatty family, like I told you, we were going to talk about a real life situation. They own a 2-bed, 1-bath house that I sold them. And guess what? They had a baby. So they need to move. And they would love to stay in the neighborhood that they're currently in. However, the price range in that neighborhood is not going to be conducive to their budget. But I have some great news. They thought at first that they would need to sell their home. I said, hey guys, why don't we, sorry, I'm circling back to the pre-approval real quick. Why don't we see if you can lease this house out, because it is in such a good neighborhood, less than a mile from the University of Tulsa, less than a mile from Utica Square. And so let's see if we can't lease this house out. It can be creating wealth for you. And then let's buy the next home as well. Good news, they did get approved to do that. So I told him, I said, if I told everybody not to sell their house, I would be putting myself out of business. And yet my goal is for you to grow your wealth. So if it means me having one less closing a year, but you having $10,000 of residual income, I'm down, So anyway, to stay in the neighborhood and get the space that they need was not an option. So whenever you're choosing space over price, over location, then I'm going to continue to help you find the best fit for you all the way around. And so we looked at the first house we looked at, good location. It was just the first house, so they wanted to see some more. The next time we went out and looked, this house had been on the market 4 hours. Beautiful home based on the photos, but the driveway was like this, okay? You can't change that driveway. And so it's always good to, if you have time at all, or if you're local, to go ahead and drive by the properties before we actually go see them. It's gonna save time, and also sellers have to leave whenever you come to see their house. And so it's always nice if you can to only make appointments for the ones that you think are really good candidates. I'm gonna show you some more about this house here. Got the guest bath, fully updated. Nice. All updated and ready to go. So that's another thing you have to decide. Do you want to get a better deal and do the updates yourself, or do you want to get something that's move-in ready that someone's already done the updates for you? So these are all things that are going to go into finding the right house. So I would say maybe on our 5th time of looking closet, we found a great property. It's in a walkable neighborhood, has a neighborhood pool, which is great for their little 4-week-old baby. They want to have community, they want to have a pool, they want to have space to grow. And the husband is a remote worker. And so he works from home. So it's really important to them to have a office space. So these are all things that we're going to look at, okay? So we've gotten our pre-qualification, and we have identified neighborhoods that are going to be acceptable for us. Then we make the appointments. We actually go look at the properties, and then we talk it over. You guys always have to talk it over. And then the next thing is going to be to make an offer. And next week we're going to talk about the offer, and we're going to talk about negotiations and stuff like that, and all the things that go into that. But I wanted to make sure that I shared these items with you this week about finding the right house. So let's do a quick recap of every week we have a 3, 2, 1. And if this is your first time here at our channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. We are here to add value to you, to pour value into you so that you can take it out and either use it, and then also pass it on. So at the end of every week, every segment, we're going to have a 3, 2, 1. So 3 things you learned, 2 things you're going to share with someone else, and 1 thing that you're going to implement this week. So 3 things that we learned. Number 1, there's a difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification. Number 2, sometimes you're going to have to give up location if you want space. And then number 3 is it's always good to drive by the houses before you actually go see them, because you can tell a lot from the neighborhood before you even get in the house, and maybe just rule them out so that you're not wasting your time and the person who lives there time to leave and get it ready for you to see and all this kind of stuff. And then the 2 things you're going to share are, if you are looking, make sure that you get pre-qualified before you actually start looking so that you don't fall in love with something you can't afford. I have a great loan officer I can refer you to. And then also Make sure that you know exactly what's most important. You know, do you still want to be in that neighborhood? If so, you might need to stay put with the 2-bedroom because you're not going to be able to afford a 3-bedroom in that neighborhood. So just really dial down what your priorities are. And then the one thing that I want you to do is, if you are thinking about buying a home this week, go ahead and start driving by some neighborhoods you think might be ideal for you and a good fit for your family. And if you have any questions or you want to talk about any of this, I am always here as a resource for you. I would love for you to come to my office and we can sit down and create a strategic plan that's going to help you achieve your real estate goals faster. And I hope that you have a great week. And next week, I'm going to talk to you about the house that the Beatty family chose. I'm going to talk to you next about the offer process and what happens after you find the perfect house, because there are steps that need to be taken and that are taken along this whole process. And we also have a blog. There's more information there. You can always look at our blog and subscribe to our channel. We really want to grow with you. And I hope that you have a great rest of your week. This is your midweek motivation with Jennifer Mount and Legacy Realty Advisors. Have a great week.